right, so my good friends, look at this. There are certain questions that get to ask you to find inequalities, right? Perhaps it will ask you to say, write 4 inequalities with a given diagram. So this one is saying, write 3 inequalities that define the region R. So this is our region, right? So since our region is this, which is bound by this point, that point, this point here, and that point there. So this is the area bound by the same R. So if you have noticed, what they are doing is they are shading the unwanted, because the R is the wanted region, okay? So they are shading the unwanted. So which inequalities satisfy this information? So the first thing that we're going to do, we have this line here, all right? We have that line there. So this line is passing through at 0, all right? That makes our inequation to be y, all right? Y is, and they are shading the upper part, right? So the wanted is this part. So instead of saying y is greater than x, since it's shading up, which is great, we are going to say y is less than x. Because if it's less than x, we would have shaded the down part. So now we are shading unwanted, the part that we don't want. So we can't go with the great. These are the mistakes that are commonly done. All right. Then when you see you are shading this and you say, okay, it's great, all right? Because if we put 0 here, if we were to put 0, say y is greater than 0, that means it's up here, which is greater, all right? It's up, because 1, if we are to put 1 here, it would be 1 is greater than 0. So it's, if we shade up there. But now what we are shading is the unwanted. So if it is wanted, that makes this y to be less than 0. Because this is the wanted part that we need, and we are not shading it. That's where our region is. Okay, so this is the first inequality that we'll come up with. I'll get to explain this. Look at this. Let me try to break it down. We have been given this region, and this region is bound by this point, that point, that point, and that. Okay? It's bound by that point, to those points, or we call them vertex. It's bound by those 4 vertex. All right? So now, since this R is not shaded, where our solution lies, it's not shaded. Where our solution lies, it's not shaded. So for that reason, we are shading the unwanted. So if we pick this line is same as y is equal to 0, or y is equal to x. So if my y is 0, that means my x is 0. If my x is 0, that means my y is 0. So this line, all right, is y is equal to 0 if it's equations. But in equations, it will either be y is less than x, or y is greater than x. It can be any of these. Right? It can be any of those. But now what is going to direct us is the shaded part. So the shaded part is the unwanted part, because the wanted is the unshaded, this region R. So if we shade up there, that means our y is greater. But our answer is in the down here. So instead of us saying y is greater than 0, or y is greater than x, instead we say y is less than x, because our answer is down here. That's what our answer is. So this is the first inequality. Then the second inequality, the video is becoming lengthy. Let's look at the second inequality.